Book of Ruth chapter 1. It came to pass in the days that the judges ruled, that there was a famine in the land. And a man from Bethlehem of Judah went to live in the fields of Moab, he and his wife, and 2 of his sons. The man's name was Elimelech, and his wife's name was Naomi, and the names of his sons were Mahlon and Chilion, Ephrathites of Bethlehem in Judah. So they came to the fields of Moab and stayed there. And Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left with her 2 sons, who took Moabite wives to themselves. The name of one was Orpah, and the name of the other was Ruth, and they lived there about 10 years. And both of them also died, Mahlon and Chilion, thus leaving the woman destitute of her 2 children and her husband. 1:6 Then she rose up with her daughters-in-law, and returned from the fields of Moab, for he heard in the field of Moab that the Lord had visited his people to give them bread. So she left the place where she had been, and with her her 2 daughters-in-law, and they began to walk to return to the land of Judah. And Naomi said to her 2 daughters-in-law, Go, return each one to her mother's house. Jehovah show mercy to you, as you have done to the dead and to me. May the Lord grant you rest, each one in her husband's house. Then he kissed them, and they lifted up their voices and cried. And they said to him, Surely we will go with you to your people. And Naomi answered, Return, my daughters, why should you go with me? Do I have more children in my womb? Who can be your husbands? Return, my daughters, and go, because I'm too old to have a husband. And even if I said, I have hope, and tonight I were with a husband, and even gave birth to children, should you wait for them until they were older? Did you have to keep from marrying because of your love for them? No, my daughters, I have greater bitterness than you, because the hand of the Lord has come out against me. And they raised their voices again and wept, and Orpah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth stayed with her. And Naomi said, Behold, your sister-in-law has returned to her people and to her gods, you turn after her. Ruth answered, Do not beg me to leave you and depart from you, for wherever you go, I will go, and wherever you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. Jehovah may do so to me, and furthermore, that only death will separate us 2. And when Naomi saw that she was so determined to go with her, she said no more. So the 2 of them walked until they reached Bethlehem, and it came to pass, when they had entered Bethlehem, that the whole city was moved because of them, and said, Is this not Naomi? And she answered them, Do not call me Naomi, but call me Mara, because the Almighty has put me in great bitterness. I left full, but the Lord has returned to me empty-handed. Why will you call me Naomi, since the Lord has testified against me, and the Almighty has afflicted me? So Naomi returned, and Ruth the Moabite her daughter-in-law with her. He returned from the fields of Moab, and they arrived at Bethlehem at the beginning of the barley harvest.